Greetings, my fellow citizens. This is Eve Darling, the National Optimist Party's candidate for president, and I bring glad tidings. As I begin, I must first reiterate our party's position that an ideal future for all is within our reach, if we but extend ourselves. I use the word extend intentionally for its semiotic relation to finance as a rhetorical device to both reinforce the need to reform our conception of things and to illustrate the relative ease of doing so, as you'll see. We stand on the threshold of a new era of economic abundance. But before stepping forward, we must close the old door, the door to the hall of lack, the hall where the discredited law of supply and demand reigned supreme. Here is how we may gracefully end the era of lack, close finally the chapter of the Dark Ages. Here is how we may at last bring the age of enlightenment to full flower. Here is the National Optimist Party 7-point program, a program entailing a wholesale mobilization in all sectors of society to 1. Keep the peace. 2. Provide health assurance. 3. Revitalize education. 4. Deploy sustainable energy-producing systems. 5. Renovate communications and transportation infrastructure. 6. Develop and propagate molecular manufacturing. And 7. Effect environmental reparation and restoration. The National Optimist Party presumes everyone has some ability to offer, and we know everyone has a stake in the effort. We can thus promise full employment at a wage parity that equals or exceeds the cost of living. Even if you are not a health or education professional, an engineer, builder, or scientist, you might want the education to become one. That's on offer too. So there are surely plenty of job opportunities available. We plan to engage any and all who want to live in a nice, peaceful, sustainable environment. We plan to give idlers a chance to work, fools a chance to reform for betterment of the commonweal and work for the betterment of self and society at the same time. Good, useful, honest work for good pay. With the outline of our plan drawn, let me address the question doubtless on your minds and my second point. Just where is the money coming from to pay for all this? The simple answer is that good old American favorite, credit, employing lines already established. We've currently got close to $60 trillion on the books with our kids. Since no one, not anybody, anywhere, can save us, can express the slightest notion, let alone a proposal as to how we can pay ourselves and our descendants back, doesn't it seem to you, and any of good intent, that the least we could do is make our collective best effort to figure it out? Now, to the financial metaphor. The news of the day touts fear and insecurity. Retreat and retrench, we're told. You're overextended. Nonsense. We are fine. Better than ever as a matter of historical fact. It is fear and insecurity as means and methods of social control that are imperiled, not us. In the sharpest possible contrast to the prevailing wisdom from on high, namely, that we are overextended, our prescription is to extend further, to enable ourselves to do so. Let's use that old accounting trick and make a debt a credit, a debit an asset. Let's use our debt to ourselves as a credit to invest in ourselves, with a secure knowledge based on past performance that we are a sufficiently resourceful people to be able to figure out how to make a new, better sustainable, and for those of you so inclined, quite profitable economy and society, if we put our collective will and talents to the endeavor. We've got $60 trillion, plus an annual sum of over $2 quadrillion that circulates only between and among financial institutions that we can repurpose and put to implementing the National Optimist Party's 7-point program, supporting each element until such time as that portion of the program becomes self-sustaining or profitable, or for 20 years, whichever comes first. For example, we can rightly expect to make great fortunes in nanotechnology, non-polluting power generation, and environmental restoration. Education and healthcare might not directly turn profits of the financial sort, though they will surely ensure profits and avoid debts to come in the course of 20 years, as should be plain for all to see. In all cases, it is our National Optimist Party's firmly and deeply held belief, the chances are excellent, that by implementing our 7-point program, we can develop in 2 short decades peace at home and abroad, health assurance, educational excellence, sustainable energy, renovated infrastructure, smart, green manufacturing, and a replenished, revitalized environment. In so doing, we develop the ways and means not only to pay our debts and clean up our messes, but to offer succeeding generations a nation and world we can be proud of. A nation and world that would be a fitting inheritance for our beloved children and grandchildren. A world that will stand in gratitude and as an eternal tribute to our great nation, the most creative, the most resolute, the most valiant ever conceived in history. I ask you to join with our National Optimist Party, with your community and your country in this great and glorious adventure to vastly expand our national and humane horizons, validating the nobility of humanity and creating for ourselves and our progeny an enduring legacy of innovation and excellence. Thank you.